Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Raphael Varane is a fantastic signing for Manchester United. I can assure Varane will exceed expectations in the Premier League. At Manchester United, he'll replicate what he did in his years with Real Madrid. And what a centre-back partnership that's going to be, Raphael Varane and Harry Maguire, because they'll complement each other very well in our back line. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. Varane endured 10 years at Real Madrid, so he was a long-serving player. He won a lot of trophies at Real Madrid, so reflecting on that, he's got a good pedigree as a player. That's beneficial. He won the World Cup with France back in 2018 and he's won 79 caps. He made 360 appearances for Real Madrid in all competitions. Real Madrid got Varane from Lens back in 2011. Varane's current contract at Real Madrid was due to expire next year. Don't forget, we went in for Varane back in 2011 under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We also went in for him in 2018 because don't forget, Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move. Varane has come out and said he was prepared to leave Real Madrid to join Manchester United. Varane is our third signing of this summer transfer window. Solskjaer has spent over £100 million now in this transfer window. Obviously brought Tom Heaton in on a free transfer from Villa. Brought Jadon Sancho in. We confirmed the signing of Jadon Sancho on Friday. And obviously we brought Varane in. Yeah, Manchester United have signed Varane. The club have made it official. It is subject to a medical and to player terms being finalised. Both clubs have agreed an initial fee of 34 million. Could rise up to 42 million with add-ons. Varane has agreed a 4-year contract with Manchester United with an option of a further year. Raphael Varane will receive £250,000 a week at Man United, so we have doubled his wages. Fabrizio Romano said earlier on today that Varane will fly to Manchester this week, but he said he'll have his medical a few days later. He actually said earlier on today as well that Varane is expected to be unveiled as a United player next week, but obviously it's been announced now, because obviously the BBC said that Man United have confirmed that they've reached an agreement with Real Madrid to sign Raphael Varane. Now, I want to give you some news on Alex Telles. Alex Telles is to miss the start of the season with an ankle injury that he picked up last week in training. Alex Telles is our second choice left back. When we got Telles last year, I expected him to be our first choice left back immediately, but obviously it hasn't happened. The reason we brought Telles in was to provide competition for Luke Shaw. Telles has only endured one season at Man United. We got him for 15.4 million from Porto. And he's under contract with Man United until 2024. He's made 23 appearances for us. Telles has been subjected to transfer speculation recently. It recently said Inter Milan wanted him on loan. And the other week, Sky in Italy said that Roma were in talks to sign Alex Telles as a replacement for the injured Leonardo Spinazzola. So that's the news on him. Now I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority is to get a midfielder in. There has been quite a few midfielders on our agenda. Saul Niguez, we've been linked with him from Atletico Madrid. Sky Sports said that Man United are exploring a move for Niguez, and we think we can get him for around £45 million. Saul Niguez would be a good adequate replacement for Paul Pogba. We've also been linked with Ruben Neves from Wolves. He said, was it last week, that Man United moved ahead of Arsenal in the race to sign Ruben Neves. It says Wolves are willing to sell him for £35 million. Eduardo Camavinga will try to get him from Rennes. I heard recently that Declan Rice is interested in making a move to Man United. And we've been linked with Leon Goretzka from Bayern Munich. Solskjaer is also interested in bringing Kieran Trippier into the club. Solskjaer did make it clear that he wants to make around 4 signings in this summer transfer window. But Man United are enjoying a very good summer transfer window, which I'm delighted about. You know, Solskjaer at long last is finally getting the backing he deserves, because he wasn't backed enough for such a long time. You know, this summer transfer window is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. Manchester United now have to sell to fund more transfers. We could be selling Pogba in this summer transfer window. Lingard could also be going. It actually says Pogba and Lingard could leave to fund the Kieran Trippier transfer. Like I said, Telles could possibly leave. I'm expecting Man United to loan Brandon Williams out to gain him more experience and to get him a lot more opportunities, because Williams seldom plays for us. He's our 3rd choice left back. Jones, I'm expecting us to offload him. I think we've agreed to let Axel Tuanzebe go. I'm expecting Diego Dalot to leave. He was out on loan with AC Milan last season. Andres Pereira, I'm also expecting him to leave. He was out on loan with Lazio last season. I initially thought Martial, Matic, Van der Beek and De Gea were going to be leaving, but it looks like now they're going to be remaining at the club for next season. I think now Man United have got a good squad with Sancho and Varane in it. I thought the squad was good before, they came in, but obviously it wasn't good enough to win the title. You've got Dean Henderson, that's a very, very good goalkeeper. I hope Dean Henderson is our number one for next season. He said quite a few weeks ago that Solskjaer had chosen Dean Henderson to be our number one for next season. He's reliable enough to be our number one. Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. And he's got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. Before the start of last season, Henderson signed his 6-year contract with the club. I think David De Gea is a decent goalkeeper, despite him making a lot of mistakes in the last couple of years. De Gea has been long serving at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club. He's been with us since the Ferguson era, and I reckon he's had 8 good years out of the 10 years he's been with us. De Gea has won everything domestically at the football club, and he's made over 500 appearances for us in all competitions. David De Gea is on £375,000 a week, which is a substantial amount. I think he's got like 2 years left, or just under 2 years left on his current contract. It said, was it last week, that De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for a starting place. A few weeks ago it said De Gea could be loaned out by Man United next season to make room in the goalkeeping department, because it said De Gea's future was in doubt following the arrival of Tom Heaton. If we was to sell De Gea in this summer transfer window, I reckon we'd get from between 40 to 50 million pounds. We have got too many goalkeepers now. Luke Shaw, obviously he's very, very good as well. Luke Shaw had a good tournament for England. He was also our best player last season. Fabrizio Romano did mention not so long ago that Man United are in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. Shaw has just under 2 years left on his current contract. Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Telles. And I reckon he's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. Shaw has been with us over 7 years now. I think Harry Maguire is a decent centre-half. I think he'll be better now with Varane alongside him. Maguire's had his good games at Man United, he's also had his bad games. He did well for England though during the tournament, to his credit. He was a big miss for us towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. We overpaid for Maguire though. We got him for £80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club. Eric Bailly, he's a decent centre-half as well. My element of concern about Eric Bailly is injury prone, so in that aspect he's a liability. Towards the end of last season, Eric Bailly signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. Despite his signing Varane, I would still keep Bailly because he's a good backup. So if Varane or Harry Maguire get injured next season, then obviously Bailly is the plan B. Bailly has been at Man United now over 5 years. We got him for Villarreal for 30 million back in 2016. And Wan-Bissaka, he's a decent right back. He's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville, if I'm going to be honest with you. He's defensively always been superb, but Wan-Bissaka's got to show more attacking intent. He's enjoyed 2 full seasons at Man United. We got him 50 million from Crystal Palace in the summer of 2019. I think McTominay is a decent player. He certainly needs more time at the club. He's been part of the club for a long time as it stands. McTominay's not yet on that level where I want him to be at. Just after the first lockdown last year, he signed a 5-year contract with Man United. Pogba, we've been getting the best out of him in recent months. Bruno Fernandes, very good player. He is one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. And he's one of our best players. In most of Bruno Fernandes' games at Manchester United, he's been very consistent. But he's enjoyed some bad games as well. Fernandes has been at Man United now over a year and a half. Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago that Man United were looking at a new contract for Bruno Fernandes. Towards the end of last season, it said we was willing to double his wages to £200,000 a week. Fernandes is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. Fernandes won Player of the Year last season. He's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. I think Donny van de Beek is a decent player, but I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Man United because he's not started as many games as I expected. I recall Van de Beek starting just 4 games in the league last season, but he has made like 36 appearances for us in all competitions. Most of them appearances have come from the bench. I liked him at Ajax, Van de Beek. We got him in a deal worth 40 million from Ajax. And he's versatile, he can play in 3 different roles. Mason Greenwood's also very, very good as well. He's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Despite him going a long period without scoring, Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, so he's been part of the club for a long time. And last season, Mason Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract with the club. Greenwood can play on the right, he can play centrally, but a lot of the time he plays on that right hand side. Marcus Rashford's good when he wants to be, but there's certainly aspects of his game that I've got to improve because he's endured his bad periods at Man United and he's become injury prone, which is a concern. Rashford's going to be out till October because he got a shoulder injury and he decided to have surgery on his shoulder. We need to keep Rashford out on that left hand side because that's where he seems to be more effective. Edinson Cavani, he's good, he's made an impact since he's come in, and I'm glad that Cavani is staying for next season. Fabrizio Romano said towards the end of last season that Cavani agreed a 1-year deal. But there is players at Man United that are good enough. Martial isn't good enough. Matic isn't good enough. Fred isn't good enough. Victor Lindelof isn't good enough. So there you go. Juan Mata, I think he's had a good career at Man United, but I think we need to offload him. My element of concern about Juan Mata, he's lost that yard of pace, plus he doesn't get in R11 now and he is ageing up. But not so long ago, Juan Mata extended his contract with the club until June 2022, so it looks like he's going to be staying. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.